What's up, everybody? Sammy 33 back, and we are continuing our franchise scouting series with the Buffalo Sabres. So I apologize for not streaming last week. Did not provide a video, did not do a hockey stream to release a Call of Duty. Likely, we're going to have to move the date. Just want to give a precursor here. One Death Stranding comes out next week. But also, if you haven't heard in the normal streams, I've got a job with Amazon. I'll be working graveyards Friday and Saturday night, which meaning hockey's going to have to move to another day. Totally fine. Not an issue. We'll figure out the day. Once I figure out the day, there should be a pace spin going out later today, if not Saturday, kind of updating on what I plan to do schedule-wise. But stay tuned. Hockey will still be a thing. It'll be a dedicated day of the week. We just may have to move it to another day. That said, let's get started. So we left off with the nice win against the Blackhawks. So back-to-backs, we get wins. Looking at, as we normally do, play 4 to 5 games. So I am looking at playing Minnesota, Boston, Florida, and Tampa. So get that nice little road trip done in Florida. And then the next stream will have Calgary, the back-to-backs with Toronto, and the Devils. We'll move into December. That said, things are going good so far. First place, nice. Let's look at what we're here for, though. So I provided a link in the description with my trusty, maybe not my trusty laptop as I turn to it, but I provide the link for my Google Doc that I have, my Excel, for this. So let me actually take some time to explain this real quick. I'm not going to post it on stream. I was having issues getting the overlay to pop up, but let me explain. So if you take a look at it, what I have here is I have the position. There's one thing I want to add I didn't think about until after the fact, and I'm probably going to do it. So I have it position. Are they pinned to my watch? Are they essentially on my watch list? And are they pinned? Is this a player that's recommended by my scout? Their name, their potential, and what their type is. And as far as I'm looking at type for how they fit in as far as the player role. My scouts rank, the CS rank, and if they, what their previous rank was. Whatever their previous rank is, I'm going to leave for the entire season and just update that so I have more to go off of. I can see if they've moved up or down from the beginning of the season. Are they a gem or a bust? Looking at here, going across, you have that little nice thing there. But then you see rank movement, so you can see it from there. But I want a big full season picture. The scout, when they were scouted, how many times they were scouted, don't say what. I'd have to look to see that. But to get more accurate information, you scout them more times, to get everything scouted. That's what I have. And I have X's marked for strengths and weaknesses if we scouted that. If we scouted their skills, so their attributes. Strengths and weaknesses to see where they fit in. And you can get a good picture with those two, what type of player they are. Character, or their locker room fit, and potential in comparison, who they compare to. So that is what we have. The one thing that I'm going to add, I don't think I'll just pull up this guy just as an example. No, maybe not this guy. No, this guy works. Right there. Strength competition. Not so much worried about their stats. It is a reflection. But I would, if a guy is rated, it plays great, and is rated maybe a little bit lower, but he plays great against good competition, I may look at him more favorably than a guy that is a higher skill set but performs less against lesser competition. So something else to factor in. That said, let's do what we start out with every stream. Assign. So there's not going to be a whole lot of this going on because a lot of my scouts still have stuff going. Watt will free himself up shortly. You can look up above me. It's November 19th in the franchise, so I'm probably going to add because I know we will pass that, and I like him to be a little bit more advanced and where we're looking. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at my spreadsheet, and I'm going to look to see if there's someone that I have listed here that I have not scouted at all. If so, they will be added. So let's go by winger, and let's see. There's a couple guys that I kind of want to look at. This would be one, 47th. So let's take a look at him. Look at skill assessment. Pushes me to November 27th. That works. Take it. And then we've got Strom. So what, and if you notice too, I'm looking at it here on the side. If you look, I have it ranked down to, as far as the CS rank, essentially it's going to be top 150, but I added the goalies because I'm looking at goalies, so it goes down to 162. So it's around the top 5, and then as I get more comfortable with those, then I will expand. And as I add people, I will expand too. 7 rounds. If I can acquire late round picks, maybe find some gems in there, who knows. But I'm primarily focused on the first 5 rounds. So we're going to scout specific players again. And we're going to refer to the list to see if there's anyone that I would scout that I have not had a chance to look at yet. Options. So start with left wing. No. Probably not. These guys are ranked really, really low. Goalie. You know what? Let's search goalie. Oh, anyone. Anyone. And honestly, that is going to take us through the rest. So this was going to be a short one anyway. The next one will be when we get some good stuff. So we will go to a draft board. One thing I do like about this, I don't know if this was mentioned. I think it's on board. Yeah, it's on board. Back out. But anyway, so I can sort this. So obviously, pin guys. So there's some more guys being added. These, Schneider wasn't there last time. I'll add him. I guess I can't. I guess what I should be doing is unpinning people as I go. But these have been added since. There's some new guys to look at. I'll take a look at this guy. So let me see who I can take off my board. Who did I not like? One of these goalies I wasn't a big fan of. Sort. Some of these goalies are pretty awful. Pretty awful. I think this was one guy I looked at. Because some of them, like you have the CS rank, but your scouts rate them lower. So you're looking at your scouts like, well, if you rate them lower, why are you rating them lower? Bad skills. Doesn't make a difference. Doesn't make a difference. I am going to scout this guy, though. I'm actually going to scout him through here. I can't pin him, but I can still scout. And the same with this guy. Because I still want to make sure that these guys are being looked at. Because goalies are super important for me, as we've greatly talked about on the stream. No scouts in the region. Oh, God. one more. I have to go back to assign and then hire from there. I think I have room for one more scout, two more. Let's see. Do I have money though? That's the question. So let me go back and let me see where that guy was from so I can scout him. And then I'll actually search for people in the region as well. So let's go back. Let's go to goalies. Sort this. Oh God, where's this guy from? Extra Liga. Okay. This season hasn't started yet. I've scouted him though. Regardless, let's get that guy. No hire scouts. But these guys are gonna suck. It's another problem. Hmm. Um, that's a little bit of a problem there. I'm gonna have to look that up. Where is this guy? I'll worry about that later. Plenty of time. Um, but I like this too. So I'm also been looking at this. So looking at my list, if you pull up my draft board or my pin list, the guys that I'm observing, I have noted two. One, I don't think I'll get. That is Francisco Paco. He is ranked 16th, but my scout has him ranked 12. So I have my eye on him. Also, since goalie is something I'm really looking at, I also have him highlighted as well. He is rated 97. My scout has him ranked 89. He looks pretty solid. That would be a third round pick, meaning I probably need to get into the third round, so I may have to trade back in. But looking at it right now, this kind of helps because it gives me some guys to look at. So Snyder is a guy that I'm going to take a look at. He wasn't necessarily someone that I was looking at. And also you can see here, pins, but I can go in and look at them from here. So he's a guy that I have looked at. Do I really like him? Probably not, but never know. But another way of kind of gauging guys that your scouts will look for you to get at different picks. So that is kind of nice. Um, I don't think I've looked at everyone that they have. First rounds I have. So if you're kind of lost on guys that you may be able to get, it helps. Not everyone, like I said, is on my list, especially when we talk about the seventh round picks. I really haven't gone that far down. But I think for the most part, that is it. This, like I said, this is going to be a super short one because there's not a whole lot going on. I will look at something first, though. Look at our board. And we're going to look at goalies really quick. Some guys that we're looking at. So yeah, I see my scout has these guys ranked. So this guy ranked terrible. This guy's ranked good. Well, better. He's better, but he's not great. Um, really, really low. But looking at the goalies, there's some goalies I was looking at. This guy right here, Kolosov. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. That's why he's highlighted on my board. You see, A plus in reflexes and control. So there should be fewer rebounds. Should be able to make those quick twitch saves. He's very athletic. Um, we're in the process of scouting him, so that will get better as we go along. But actually, you know what? Let's go further down the rabbit hole. Let's just add to it right now. Only one scout. Potential and comparison. See what he looks like. So that'll mess up some of the things I have going on, but that's okay. Goalie is really important, so I am not going to complain about doing it. It's okay. Thing is, there's just not a lot of, there aren't great, for what I'm looking for goalies, and there's just not a lot out there. This guy's terrible. I'm kind of curious why he's rated so high by my scout. Like, why would you rate him higher? Because it doesn't seem quality to me. But what do I know? Continue to take a look at him. These guys, initial, we're gonna keep doing it. Like it's super important for me to make sure that we have someone who is in the pipes as a goalie. I don't think we'll have anyone that'll start right away, but just getting someone out there that can be efficient and help us out. And then one other guy that kind of piqued my interest was a enforcer. But for now, I think we're pretty much set. So what I will do in the next stream, since it seems that we'll have some extra things to do as far as assigning scouts, I think that we'll do that, but then we will start to unpin people and add the scout recommendations. I always feel like I should have on there because it's kind of, they're pointing me in a direction of you should take a look at these guys, right? 15 players, 3 per pick. So I'd still need to look at acquiring picks as well. I don't think that I will do it off, or well, in this video. I think I will end up doing it during the streams. But if you look around the league, a second round, first they do, a first next year too. If I can start looking at getting some picks to get in back into this draft. I wish there were more goalies to take, but there are, there's definitely goalies out there. But yeah, look at this. 2 first round picks in Tampa that they have on the block for this year. A lot of options out there. I don't necessarily want a first round pick though. But if I could find a way to get my third back, or if I could find a way to get a second, I'd be curious. I'm just kind of curious just what kind of value we're talking about. I'm not gonna do this. I just want to see. Hmm. So you put the green in there and it lets you know that they meet the requirements. So goalies matching block. This guy. Potentially elites. He's a 73 overall. His role right now is a minor starter. He's 20. Continues to develop. But I wouldn't trade him. But skaters matching, there's a lot. Super young. Older. he's probably not going to play for me. Because if I look at defensemen, probably not going to play for me. You know what? I'm actually gonna do this trade. I am actually going to do this trade. But I want the second. Where is it at? It was here. Let's back out. Let me make sure that it was 2020. Because he's on my minor leagues team, I'm honestly not going to be too bothered by it. He's still a solid player, but I'm okay with it. Go back to the New Jersey Devils. Or Islanders. Wrong team. Makes it very easy to trade, let me tell you, because it puts everything out there right away. So I add an item. We're going to go to skaters matching. Actually sort by the minor leagues to make it easier. Him as well, he may go too. Not too worried. Like, I like the guys that I have right now. Um, he has 1 year remaining. He's going to be a free agent anywhere. He has 1 year remaining too. This would seem to be one of those occasions where a trade block paid off in spades. Could start a deal based on what you want from us. We could live with what you are sending us, but not in this deal. Your offer is woefully insufficient. I consider value for what you're asking in return. If I add him, I'll be happy to add. But if I add him, I will need something else in return. What if I retain part of his salary? How do you guys feel about that? I retain half the salary. Still doesn't match. Value's still too high. Hmm. Well, I'll tell you what. If we're gonna do that, I'm gonna need to. Oh, hold on. I'm not retaining the salary if I'm gonna do something else. What else do they want? I really don't want to give up my young players. Alright, we're not making this trade. Probably moving for a third. What about the Ducks? Fortunately, they have a better record. They have more than 50 players. They'd have to add something back. Well, can't do that one either, because they put some over. Oh, this got interesting. Let's see. What I want is a second round. I mean, I'll take a third too, but I really want a second round in this year's draft. Okay, I have too many contracts. I wish there was an easier way to just go into the Twins so we can at least get by Edmonton. All right, Florida. No, no. It doesn't look like third round is going to be a thing. It doesn't look like third round is going to be a thing. That's unfortunate. The first round obviously would be great, but that's fine. You know what? How about we do this instead? With a trading block? No, I have those guys on there. Obviously, we want to trade. Um, my wants. Let's change this. Not so worried about future. And stick with, again, seconds and thirds. So those are the players. That's what I want. That works. And I think that'll at least put us in a good position to acquire some stuff later. All right. And we're done. So this will do it for now. But we'll see what happens later on. Thanks for watching. A little bit longer than I planned on because I wasn't planning on doing doing him the trade block. Regardless, we'll play some hockey. Thanks for watching, and go Sabres. Not in first place, but still pretty damn close. Let's go.